right, 5.2.
Stop.
Compare. Well, y'all did 5.1 yesterday. Comparing rational numbers. So yesterday we talked about rational numbers. How to go from an improper fraction to a mixed number and vice versa. Today we're going to compare rational numbers. Don't have a whole lot of notes because it's not going to be crazy. There's two ways to do it. I have my preference, okay? Everyone's different, but I have my preference. All right, one way to compare rational numbers, basically you're comparing fractions, y'all. That's what we're doing. That's it. We're comparing fractions.
I don't know how to do that.
You're about to find out. All right, one way of comparing fractions, you know, like greater than, less than, which one's bigger, smaller, and everything. You can compare two fractions. Bless you. Bless you. By giving them a common denominator. And of course, you know, you got to change the numerator. Okay, this method, some people prefer. The only problem with this is depending on the fractions, it could be like so hard to find a common denominator. Okay? I mean, you'd have to just multiply them and it's a big, huge number. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but some people, you know, they like it.
Can't you just do this common multiple thing?
That's the same thing. Okay, so let's say we have 5 over 6 and 7 over 8. All right, we want to know, shut it down. We want to know which one is, we want to know, are they equal? Are they greater than? Are, like, is this greater than this? Is this less than that? Is this equal to that? We want to know. Some people can just look at these fractions and tell. Okay, if you're that person, awesome. Most people cannot. Okay, and that's very difficult if you can't. So, what you need to do on this method is find a common denominator, like Italia volunteered the information of least common multiple. Okay, one number that they both can go into, preferably the least common multiple, the smallest one. Now, if you can't think of one, oh, that's good, Jess. If you can't think of one, you can just multiply the two, and that'll give it to you. So, Italia, what would be a common denominator?
24.
Very good. That would be your least common multiple.
Because we would multiply.
No, don't worry about that. Just, you're getting a common denominator. Do you understand that? Okay, you're getting a number that both 6 and 8 can go into. Do you understand that?
Easier to compare.
So that's why I don't like to use the term least common multiple, because that's adding stuff to your brain. All you need to do is find a number that both can go into.
Or 48.
Exactly, or 48. 48 could be a common denominator. Do you understand that? Okay, so 24 is a number they both can go into. Now we have to get a new numerator. Italia, how many times does 6 go into 24?
4 times.
Okay, so y'all need to write this down if you have forgotten how to do this, because this goes along with adding and subtracting fractions. 6 goes into 24 4 times, so 4 times 5 is 20. Thank you. 8 goes into 24 how many times?
3.
So then 3 times 7 is?
21.
Okay. If you change the denominator, you have to change the numerator. So many times people will say, put just bring 5 and 7 down. And that will get you a wrong answer. Okay? So you went, especially when you're adding and subtracting fractions, you get a common denominator, and then you multiply the numerator by how many times the denominator goes. Does that help? Okay, now, Italia, we have 20 over 24 and 21 over 24, which 20 over 24 is?
Larger. Is it?
20 over 24?
21 over 24. Larger.
There you go.
So I'm guessing if the number on top is larger, that means.
There you go. Because
What-
these two are the same.
But what if it was like if we were talking about pizza slices and you were to say which one had bigger slices, you would say 20 or 24.
Okay,
That's how I learned
that's good. She's using food.
it. Ooh,
My problem growing up is that I have trouble thinking like abstractly, like images. I have to deal with just numbers. I'm very black and white. I have to just do this. I can't sit there and, well, I can't compare the pizza stuff or cake or anything else. I just wasn't that person, the way God made me. I am a numbers person. I can do this and I can say, yes, 20 is less than 21, therefore this fraction is less, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't have to do that. I'm a numbers person. Okay. Any questions about what we just did? Okay. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Can you remind me how did we got 24 again?
Okay, so we're just looking for a number that 6 and 8 can go into.
Okay, so kind of like division or something like that?
Yeah. So you're just finding a larger number that both of them can go into equally. And like Italia said 24, because 6 can go into 24 and 8 can go into 24. And Italia said 48. Look, if you do 6 times 8, that gives you 48. You could have used 48. Okay? We're going to do practicing, okay? All right, another method to comparing fractions, because that's what we're doing, is cross multiplication. This is my preferred method. Mine, Mrs. Rogers, may not be y'all's. Tanner, you may actually like this one better.
Oh, I remember this one.
So cross multiplication can also be used to compare fractions.
This one is easier.
Okay, see, that's why I said Tanner may actually enjoy this based on
Oh, I did this with some squirrel.
with a squirrel.
Miss Squirrel.
Oh, I thought you said Miss. I thought you said squirrel. I did this with squirrel.
I did this with Miss Squirrel.
Y'all heard squirrel too, didn't you?
No, I heard Miss Squirrel.
Oh.
I heard
See, you did
Miss
see Miss Squirrel. Miss Squirrel.
I knew she was saying that.
Squirrel.
I did this in the summer with her.
Okay, now
It's fun,
Tanner,
in my opinion.
you. Okay, so see, Tanner, I'm always looking for the easiest way, less steps, less brain cells to find an answer. This, for my brain, is a lot of work and stuff you have to remember. Okay, cross multiplication, less work. Okay, and now everyone's different. I just happen to like this. Any chance I can do cancellation when multiplying fractions or cross multiplication, I am there.
I'll probably recognize it when I see it.
All right, so here we go. 5 over 8. And we're going to compare that with 4 over 7. Okay. Joseph, do you remember cross multiplication?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Cross multiplication, usually I have my kids, my students stand up and they do this. Okay?
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah,
then
that's
they
good.
start getting bruises, so I'm like, yeah, let's stop
No,
doing
just
that.
do
So look, your arrows always have to go diagonally, and can they go down or up?
Both.
No.
Oh, up.
Always go up. Always go up.
You'll get the same answer though.
Nah, no, you will not.
If you do 5 times 7, it's the same thing as 7 times 5.
You will not get the right answer. 7, now watch what I do. 7 times 5 is,
35.
and I'm going to write it over here and circle it. 8 over 4. 8 times 4 is,
32.
and I'm circling it. Do you understand that?
I do.
So then I'm rewriting 35 and 32. And look, see how the 35 is on this side? It is representing this fraction. 32 is on this side. It's representing this fraction. Do you see why going down is wrong?
Yes.
Yes, if you multiply them, you get 35, but then 35 is going to be on this side. Okay. It's okay, because I had to explain that every year to all of my students and adults. Okay. You bring them down. 35 represents 5/8. 32 represents 4/7. 35, is it greater than, less than, or equal to? Therefore, 5/8 is greater than 4/7.
I just thought that you meant you can never multiply 5 times 7.
If you now see, it is a misconception. People truly think that you can do those arrows down, but y'all look up here. If I were to do 5 times 7 and go down, then I'd be writing 35 over here, and that's saying 4/7 would be then greater than. And that would not work. So they always have to go up. Do y'all see that? So then 5/8 is greater than 4/7 because 35 is greater than 32.
You told us that at this period.
I did. Now, do y'all see why I prefer this method over this one?
Yeah.
Yes.
All you're doing is multiply. Now, if you multiply wrong, well,
That's on you.
Now, also, I've had students that will multiply and they won't write this up here in the little bubble and then bring it down. They'll accidentally switch it and then they get wrong answers. So if you write 35 up here, you better write it like that, just so that you don't make a mistake.
Is
Okay?
that all we're doing today?
Any
Filled
questions?
up the whole page. No,
I-
ma'am, no questions.
Is that-
Open your book to page 190. We're doing examples.
Zombie?
I tell you, you have a question?
No.
Well, hold on. I gotta let other people participate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I do the question?
All right.
Can I do the one after Kelly?
Open. Why don't you open your book?
I did.
There you. I'm talking to
Oh, okay.
190.
Yeah.
Is everyone on page 190? All right. Here we go. We're gonna start with number 14 because I think we'd be wasting our time with the other stuff. All right. 14. It says use cross multiplication to compare the given fractions. Use less than, equal to, or greater than. Okay, so I have 3 over 5 and 7 over 9. Yes, Joseph, talk me through it.
So first you multiply 9 times 3. 9 times 3 is 27. 5 times 7 is 35. Then you put 27 and 35 in the bottom. And 35 is greater than 27.
And there's your answer. Therefore, 3 over 5 is less than 7 over 9. Any questions? Kelly, you okay? Okay. Good job, Joseph. Any questions about this? Let's do 16.
Can I do it?
You sure?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, 4 over 7 and 24 over 42.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah, go ahead while she starts working out.
Can we reduce it?
No. Oh, You know, you probably could. I don't know. I haven't tried that out.
Did that.
Hey, you on your paper, you work it out and not. I tell you, you work it out in a reduced
Okay.
fraction. See what you get.
They're
Okay.
equal to.
No. I didn't ask for the answer. Tell me what to do.
You would do 42 times 4,
Which gives you
168. And 7 times 24, which gives you 168.
all right, and then we write 168 here and 168 here, and they are
Equal to.
very good. And I tell you, you work it out and tell me if you get that.
Okay.
Any questions?
Yeah.
It's the same thing?
Well, kind of. So.
No way, kind of.
Okay. So if you were to reduce 20, I get the equal sign. I do get the equal sign.
Okay, so what she did is she reduced this. Let's see.
So
4
I got
over 7.
and then you also get 4 over 7 on the other side because you reduce 24 and 42 by 2, you get 12 over 21. 3 goes into 21, so it's 4 over 7 again.
Okay, so
They're
she
equal.
reduced
I totally
this.
understand.
Huh?
I totally understand.
Yes.
Are
of
you
course.
lying?
Yeah.
She picks her
Okay, so you know how yesterday we put these in lowest terms? So if you take 24 and divide it by 6, 24 divided by 6 is?
4.
42 divided by 6 is?
And they're equal.
Look,
So I was right. You can reduce it.
see that? So that works. But Tanner, they asked you to do cross multiplication. Nowhere did they say to reduce it. Atalia was just like, would that make it easier? If you don't want to reduce it, you don't have to.
It's good to test things.
It's very good to test things
I'm pretty
out.
sure you told us we could do that in 5th grade.
I don't remember 5th grade.
'Cause
All
I
right, let's look
never
at 20.
remembered that.
Kelly, you're on.
Lucky Tom.
Negative 3 over 4 and negative 7 over 10. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
So 10 times negative 3,
is
which is negative 30. Then 4 times negative 7, which is 28 negative.
okay, so we're going to write negative 30 here and negative 28. So negative 30, that is,
Less than.
ooh, very good. Look at that. It is less than.
I'm not gonna be tricked by that.
Because, that's right, these are negative numbers. So on a number line, even though this is 30 and that's 28, it's negative, so it's going the opposite direction. The bigger the number, if it's a negative there, it's going to be smaller. Good. They're going to try to trick you, and I was waiting to see if you catch that. Good job.
It should be our final second with
All right, hold on.
4 times 7.
All right, let's look at let's go to part B. Atalia, read, we're going to do 26. Atalia, read the directions.
Okay. Rename as fractions with common denominators and compare by using less than or greater than. Or sorry, greater than or less than.
Does anyone like to use the common denominator method?
No.
No.
No one likes to use the common denominator method?
No, but I can still do it.
Well,
I prefer the other one.
then I tell you what, let's forget those rules and let's just do cross multiplication then.
So I'm just gonna cross it out and put cross it.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, if no one wants to do that, that's okay.
Just makes it easier.
I mean, I'm very serious. You decide which method you like and go with it. If the one that says do cross multiplication, if you prefer common denominator, then do the common denominator. I don't care what the directions say. You just need to know how to compare fractions. And you choose your method. So, Atalia, which method do you want to do to compare these? All right, then tell me what to do.
So you do 13 times 1 and 6 times 2. So
I mean, look how easy that is, right?
So you have 13 and then you have 12.
So then I have 13 and 12.
And 13 is greater than 12, which means 1/6 is greater than 2/13.
That's right. 1/6 is greater than 2/13. Now, if you had done it by way of common denominator, you would have had to have done 78. 6 goes into 78 13 times. 13. I mean, look at all the work you'd have to do.
No, I don't know.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When just 1 times 13 is a little bit easier than all of this, right?
Yes.
All right. Any questions? All right, so let's look real quick at number 34.
Can I do difference? This one's really easy.
Okay. 34. Now, unfortunately, when you have all of these fractions and they want you to order them from least to greatest, look in the directions, it says least to greatest. In this case, you have to get a common denominator.
I know the common denominator.
Hold on.
Well, least common denominator. It's the 5 that throws it all off.
Okay, Talia, they want us to compare, put these in order from least to greatest, because the directions say that. So you may want to even underline least to greatest. Okay, so this, we can't do cross multiplication. There's too many of them. So in this case, we have to have a common denominator. So we're going to go ahead and get a common denominator for all of these. Natalia?
45. Yes.
Good. All right. Natalia, 9 goes into 45 how many times?
5 times.
So then 5 times 5.
5.
And if I write times 5 up here, so do y'all. Because then when y'all start work, I can't remember how to do my numerator. Well, you should have written this. All right, how many times does 3 go into 45, Natalia?
15 times.
So 15 times 2.
30.
5 goes into 45.
9 times.
9 times 4.
36, I think.
You're right. And then she said 5 goes into 45 9 times. 9 times 6 is?
63. 64. 54.
Excellente. 9 goes into 45 5 times. 5 times 10 is?
50.
All right, any questions as to why or where we're getting the denominator or the numerator? Y'all understand? Okay, now, these represent, they're, equivalent fractions. They're the same thing as the original fraction.
Are we going to be doing equivalent fractions this year?
What the heck do you think we're doing now?
No, I know, but like it says, is this,
That's what we're doing now.
yeah,
These are equivalent.
that is
Okay, silly girl. All right.
Yeah.
So understand these are equivalent. So now we're looking at really just the numerator and deciding which is the smallest. So Talia, which is the smallest?
25 over 45.
Okay, which is originally?
5 9.
So look what I'm doing. I'm putting a 1 on top. Because look, Tanner, do you see 25 is smaller? And that's representing this fraction, this whole group. So I'm putting a 1 because it's small.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I thought that was a 3, not 30. What?
Okay, so Natalia, what's the second?
2/3.
Okay, so this one, see that's 30? So that's going to be your second one you're
I'm
listing.
pretty sure they're in order. No, they're not. Okay.
Uh-huh, yeah, it looks like it. All right, next.
4/5.
Okay, so this one is the next. Now, which one?
10 minutes.
Over here. And of course, this is last.
Isn't that a mixed fraction? Well, it's not. It's not mixed. It can be mixed.
You're talking about improper?
Improper, yeah, but it can be mixed. 10 nines.
Okay, shh. We're just shh. All right, so I'm rewriting it, and see, I numbered which goes which.
Yeah.
So I have 5 9ths, 2/3, 4/5, and then 10/9, and then 6/5. Now, it says list from least to greatest, and then your directions say using the less than symbol.
Too much work.
So this is what they're wanting.
Yes.
You could just do the comments, the same thing.
Okay, now in all reality, if you were to just give me this, I'd be like, okay, they know what they're doing. They put it in order from least to greatest. They just didn't put the less than symbol. No big deal. Any questions on today's math? Okay. You guys are going to do, well, I'll write it on the board because class is over, but after lunch, when you come back, I will tell you exactly which ones to do, and y'all can just get started. Okay? I might move y'all's quiz to Tuesday instead of Monday. I don't know.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, let me stop the video.
Peace out, homies.